I'm so excited about this, guys. I think that we're going to get one of these reveals every single weekday. The last time we got a reveal like this was on Friday, and it is finally Monday, and we have a new reveal. Last time we talked about Lex Luthor and Superman. This time it's going to be all about the Flash and Harley Quinn. I'm so excited. We've seen the second half of Harley Quinn's effect. Harley Quinn was originally revealed on a graphic where we couldn't see her whole effect, and it was really upsetting that I didn't know exactly what her effect does, but now we know for certain what her effect does, and we even know what adrenaline does. So let's break it down just to do a little bit of catch up. I think this is important because not everyone's been following the game just as much as we have been on this channel. Leaders start in play, so you're going to have these cards at all times. They're always going to be on the board. These are like your heroes in Hearthstone, and they each have their own unique ability. These abilities have different cost values. These cost values are called charge values. So to be able to use one of my abilities, I need to spend some amount of charge on that ability. You get one charge every turn, and charge is individual to the leader itself. So even though you control two leaders, it's not a universal pool. So if I use 2 of my charge on the Flash, that's not taking away 2 charge from my Superman. Let's start off with the Flash, who only has 17 defense. That is a very low defense value, but his effect is pretty powerful. It's a 2-cost effect that reads the Flash gets +2 attack this turn and Flurry. So you might be wondering what Flurry is. According to the tweet and based on speculation that we had previously, it's nice that this has actually finally been confirmed though, Flurry allows the Flash to attack twice. It's unclear whether that has to be the same target or a different target, but my guess is that it can be different targets, which is good. That increases his flexibility. You can choose to ping off a weak opponent or a weak recruit and then focus on the opponent's leader or vice versa. Either way, I think the Flash is going to be a really aggressive card. We use this in every aggro deck that we can, and we just start throwing damage at the opponent's face until they force us to stop. A 2-cost ability makes it really powerful. It means every 2 turns, I'm going to be able to deal 4 damage to you. Really excited about the Flash, even though he's not once of his former glory. Back in the 2021 reveal, the card was obviously much better, but this card is still going to be a blast, I think. All right, with the Flash out of the way, let's jump over to Harley Quinn. Unfortunately, Harley Quinn's defense value is actually blocked off by the aggression graphic here, so we have no idea what her defense value is. But let's focus on her effect because I think that's the fun part anyway. So Harley Quinn reads end, which means at the end of turn, adrenaline, draw 1 or draw a card. We'll talk a little bit about what adrenaline means in just a sec, but let's focus on the actual activation of her ability. It's a 2-cost ability, and Harley Quinn gets +3 attack. Honestly, the activation ability is pretty underwhelming. It's going to all be about that first line of text and how important that is to Harley Quinn. So what does adrenaline mean? Well, based on what the tweet says, my assumption is that adrenaline means if my hand is empty, because the tweet says Harley's adrenaline draws a card to your hand when it's empty. I won't bother going into all the details about how drawing cards works in this game and what the actual turn pacing is like, because that'll extend the length of this video quite dramatically. But having your hand be empty in this game is far more difficult than it is in other games. You play 2 cards per turn and you start with 5 in your hand by default every turn. At least that's our assumption based on some other external information, which I won't bother going into here because it's not particularly important. But if that assumption is correct, emptying your hand is really difficult. After having played your 2 cards per turn, you're going to have 3 cards in your hand that you have to get rid of. So you're going to need some discard effects to really take advantage of the adrenaline keyword, which in this case is drawing us a card, which is even more, because that means next turn I'm going to have to get rid of even more cards. I'm going to have to play 2 cards, and then I'm going to have 4 cards to get rid of instead of 3. So how often are you really going to be able to take advantage of Harley Quinn's adrenaline effect? I don't know, man. It's really going to come down to the context of the other aggression cards or the other anarchy cards. Only time will tell. I will quickly point out before we close out this video that this graphic does indeed appear to imply another faction name change. In the last video, we talked about how Might and Tyranny have both appeared to have been changed to Manipulation and Power. In this graphic, the previously named Energy faction is apparently called Speed now, and the previously named Anarchy faction is apparently called Aggression now. Now, that might not be the case. This might just be rough descriptions of what's happening, right? The Flash is fast, Harley Quinn is aggressive, so maybe that's not a reflection on what their factions are actually called. Maybe all of the factions are still called what we thought they were initially, which is Tactics, Energy, Might, Tyranny, and Anarchy, but I'll just thought it was worth mentioning before we close out the video. So thank you so much for watching. I'm going to sign out here. Keep being awesome, and let me know what you think of the new cards. Oh, one final thing I want to mention is please come join us on the DC Dual Force community Discord, linked in the description. Tons of people are super excited about the game in there, so come say hi and be a part of the community.